All right, as California continues to drift further and further to the left, more of its residents are fleeing the Golden State, opting instead for more business-friendly, some red states like Texas. Our next guest, editor-in-chief of Campus Reform, Lawrence Jones, calls Texas home, and he has a message for those people fleeing from California, and that is to not mess with Texas. Don't mess with Texas, Lawrence. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's my home, man. I appreciate you having me on. And, you know, I've been covering this for a while, whether it was Battleground Texas, where a lot of the people in liberal, cities across the country had this plan to turn Texas blue. And it seems like it's successful right now. I mean, this was a big turn, the Beto versus Cruz race. The interesting thing, though, is that the born Texans actually ended up voting for Beto, and that was a little shocking to me because Texas is known for its business innovation and no state tax. Right. And so a lot of times when people come to Texas, they're fleeing oppressive states that don't have a business-friendly, city.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of that, especially in California. They've got some of the highest taxes. It's really tough on business in California, and we've seen time and time again a lot of the companies are getting out. And Nevada has become very popular. Texas has become very popular. Look at the problems there. The homelessness in the San Francisco Bay Area is out of control, too, and home prices. And it's very tough to build homes in California because of regulation, and the population grows, and that's why the houses are so expensive.
Yeah, so, it's overall the liberal policies that's in these states that cause them to end up going to a place like Texas. But I think sometimes when people flee those places, sometimes they forget the laws that were put in place that actually made them want to leave the state. And then you have the Texans that have it so good, and they feel so good in the state that they forget what caused them to get these low taxes and to have a surge in economy in a business-friendly state. So, I've never considered running for office on a federal level, but if they continue to come after my state, Rob, I may consider running for office.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just them coming after it. The demographics in Texas are changing as well. But let's look at California for a second, and a study done in the Bay Area that gives some of these numbers, and they're actually pretty surprising when you look at them. Here we go. Likelihood to move out of the Bay Area right there. In 2018, 46% of people, according to this study of about 1,000 people in the Bay Area, want to get out. That's up just from 2 years ago at 34%. So you're really seeing the pinch there. What does California need to learn, I guess, from the rest of the country? As you see here, 61% of people want to get out of the Bay Area and go to another state versus just another part of California. What's the message California needs to learn about how to run a state versus, the way they're doing it?
Well, I think, Rob, they need to first learn how to put their residents first. I mean, you have crime, you have drugs on the street, and you also have a state that's also prioritized illegals within their state with sanctuary city ordinance and laws to protect them. And so you really, with all the businesses in California, the people, the residents are struggling, and they really shouldn't. With all the amount of taxes that they're getting, there's no excuse from some of these public safety crises that you're seeing there. And so a lot of people want to leave to go to a more beneficial state where they pay taxes.
Yeah, and the population's growing exponentially. And like I said, you talk to developers out there about how tough it is to build anything out there. I mean, they do not want to build new housing. And so you've got a growing population. Right. That's why the houses are so ridiculous. You can't even afford anything. Lawrence, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much, brother.
All right.